Hopefully you are super excited about this idea of creating input validation functions in another file, and then every time you write a new program, you can just include that header file into your code without having to rewrite those functions over and over. So I have my main function here, and I have this includes line that says, remember, this is a preprocessor directive, and it says include this file. So this file is over here, valid.h, and so what it does is it basically just copies all of this code and replaces this line with all that code. So it's like that code is in this file. And that's why we don't need any function prototypes, because they are at the beginning of our program. So when I get to these functions, get integer, etc., they will have already been declared up above. So in this program, I'm going to be reading in an integer, a double, a float, and a string. So let's take a look more closely at my files. So in my get integer, I'm going to declare an integer, print the prompt, read in the integer. While cin is in a fail state, remember you can use this or cin.fail, or the next character in the input stream is not a new line, right? So if they type in a 3 and then a C, we don't want them to be able to do that. We are going to clear the error, and we'll ignore everything up until the new line. We'll prompt it, or we'll give them an error message, prompt again, and read in again. And we'll keep doing that over and over until they give us a valid integer. And we'll do the same thing for a float and the same thing for a double. For the string, I'm going to prompt, and I'm going to allow spaces. So I have to use getLine, right? And then remember, when we use getLine and the stream extraction operator in the same program, sometimes it works kind of funny, because the stream extraction operator will leave the new line character in the stream, and then getLine will read that character and think that the user just typed the enter key, and then they're not entering in a string. Okay, so to kind of fix that problem, when we get into this function, I'll ignore everything to the new line, right? So this is the new line that may have been left by cin. And then I'll put the prompt out, and then I'll do a get line, and I'll read whatever they type into this variable called phrase. And while phrase is empty, so there's no space in between here. So if I put a space, you can see there. While phrase is empty, meaning they just hit the enter key, they didn't type anything in, I'll give them no characters were entered, print the prompt again, and then read in the phrase. Okay, so to test those functions, I have some just test code right here. So enter an integer C, invalid. How about 45C? Oop, that's invalid. So it'll pick off the 45, but the C is still left in the stream, and it's not a new line, right? It's not a new line, so it'll say invalid integer, and it'll prompt again. So I'll do 45. Enter a double. How about C for 5.6? Nope. 3.45 space F? Nope. How about 3.45? And double will work the same. And then enter string. So I cleared out that new line that the extraction operator left in the input stream. So it's not reading in that new line. And then if I do fun, well, actually I'll just do an empty string. No characters were entered. So we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow them just to hit the enter key. And then I can say fun times, and that works.